Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. India starts off their T20 World Cup campaign with a win. The team will be pleased with this win because, boy oh boy, this was a match that tested them. And this was against USA, an associate nation. Even though they did end up winning the game, I think there'll be a lot of introspection in that dressing room tonight. Joining me today for this show is Bharat Ramraj, Ashok Nambodiri, and our man on ground, Debashish Sen, will also join us very soon. I'll start with you, Bharat. Looking back on the first innings, where do you think the Indian batters went wrong? It was a day of batting collapses, it seems.
But we can't always expect perfection. That's not how it works in sport. So I will start from there. See, it is not an easy pitch to bat. Let me start that. Let me start by saying that it is not an easy pitch to bat. There is a little bit of grip in the surface, and also I think there was tennis ball bounce, and up front there is a little bit of nip too. So in those conditions, it comes down to how the batters adjust accordingly. So basically, maybe the batters upfront thought that it is one of those easy tracks where you can get 250 and try to play too many strokes. When you try to do that, then obviously there will be a collapse. And then somewhere Surya Kumar Yadav understood the conditions, tried to take the game, tried to take the innings deep, and then he explored every nook and cranny of the ground. And that is how you have to play in those conditions. So credit to him and credit to USA as well. They planned quite well. Look at how they dismissed Abhishek Sharma. They had a fielder somewhere a deep cover because they understand that Abhishek Sharma is someone who charges down the track, tries to manufacture room, stays leg side of the ball, charges down the track, manufactures room, and looks to hit it through the offside. Basically fights with the line, and then he tries to maybe open the bat face a little bit and hit through the offside. So they got the planning right, they got the execution right. If they had taken a couple more catches, who knows? They might have even who knows? They might have even sealed an upset. But having said that, I think India knows how to come out on top in this kind of games. Sorry, as I already noted, India hardly lose to an associate nation in World Cups, barring that one game in Sri Lanka somewhere in '79. They know how to come out on top when they play against the weaker side. I think that is what they did. The bowlers, yes, the bowlers bowled reasonably well. But having said that, 163, 162 in those conditions would require a really good batting efforts because that was not an easy pitch at all. And USA, I don't think had the experience or the quality to chase down 162. But if they had taken those couple of chances, you never know. They might have just upset the apple cart. I think yes, they will take a few learnings from this game. But what I would say is, in sport, you can't expect perfection all the time, and India just found a way to, or carved out a way to come out on top.
You're right about those chances because this is what sets champion teams apart from the rest. And I think if USA were able to take those chances, convert those chances into breakthrough moments, then we could have very well seen an upset. But India doesn't let go of a win that easily. Ashok, looking back on the first innings again, of course, we will talk about Surya Kumar Yadav and how he dragged India across the line. But at the same time, looking back, some of those shots, with all credit to the USA bowlers, they did trap the batters very well. But at the same time, some of those shots were just bad shots.
I agree. I mean, as an example, if you take the shot that Shivam Dubey played, he came in and without even getting his eyes set, I thought that was a rank bad shot, and not really expected of him. I agree that there were a few shots that could have, been eschewed by the batsman. But the context is that this pitch was rather slow, and I think both Abhishek Sharma as well as Ishan Kishan realized that early on, and you didn't see them coming out and charging at the ball like you normally do. But I think that feedback loop in terms of saying that, hey, conditions are different and therefore you need to perhaps slow down, which is what Captain Surya Kumar Yadav actually, managed so brilliantly with that 80 odd run innings that he scored. And I think it's a good wake up lesson because there will be such pitches, such conditions, and India needs to figure out, what it's going to do differently when it encounters a situation like this. So net, I think, while on paper there is a huge mismatch, I think in reality what happened is that it also shows how much cricket has traveled across the world. For the US to come back and play like this is a reflection of how much exposure they've got to franchise cricket across the world. And in a sense, that's perhaps the silver lining on the cloud.
Bharat, what do you think is to be introspected here? Do you think they will think about their approach, or do you think what really goes on here from what we've seen from the Indian batters today?
I go back to the same point. On a perfect day, India would have understood that these conditions are not tailor made to score 300 or 250. Right from the start, they would have understood it, they would have adjusted accordingly. And I think peak score in these conditions would be somewhere around 175, 180, and India got 161. It's not like India got 130 or 140. Just thanks to one batter, they got that kind of a score. But still, India managed or found a way or found a path to get to a very competitive score. So in the end, they did. I think they did reasonably well to get that kind of a score. See, you can't have a perfect day in sport all the time. Even it could be Novak Djokovic or a Roger Federer or a Rafael Nadal, whoever it is. They would also lost a lot of times. It's not like they won every single time, even though they won how many slams, 66 majors together. Still, they lost a lot of matches. So there would be days where you won't have it everything going your way, and but India still managed to carve out a path and score about 161 runs, which turned out to be a winning score against an associate associate nation. So, if you ask me, it goes down to the same point that it's about understanding the conditions, and once you understand the conditions, you just adjust accordingly and just look to maybe think of another par score instead of 250, 300. Think of maybe 175, 180, and that would have been a perfect day for the Indian team. But they still managed to win the game, and that is what really counts.
Ashok, there's a comment here by True Wicket. He's saying Abhishek Sharma has been dismissed for first ball duck three times, and they have all come in 2026. With the third one coming today against USA, time to play the situation and not the gallery. But this is the kind of approach that you love Abhishek for when it works. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not really playing to the gallery, and I think Captain Surya Kumar Yadav at the toss, if I'm not wrong, talked about a situation will emerge like this, where you can't have it all the time. It's also not I mean, forget why people love watching him play like that. I think it's a brand of cricket that India has now become specialists in terms of really attacking fearlessly, putting the opposition onto the back foot from the word go, and in the process you'll have to then factor in this point that there could be an early dismissal. So it will happen. It has nothing to do with 2026. It has nothing to do with the opposition. It has nothing to do with the conditions. It has nothing to do with him playing to the gallery. I think it is something that you factor in into the equation when you start playing this brand of cricket, and then you figure out that if it clicks, and even the 30 runs that he scores, not a 50, not a 60, a 30 runs can make the difference when it comes to this Indian team, and that's what is expected of him. Now, the question is that if it gets out, what does India then go back to the drawing board and quickly do? Is it building a partnership? Is there somebody else who comes in and steps in? Or, like we have seen in the series against New Zealand, you bat deep and ensure that the momentum in terms of the run rate doesn't drop. It's a choice that the Indian team has made, and therefore can't really fault him.
Can I just add one point, one small point to it? See, 4 years ago, Indian cricket fans, the same cricket fans, were crying all the time that India play too slowly India are playing too slowly. That is back in the 2022 T20 World Cup. That KL Rahul is playing too slowly and all that stuff. And then the Indian fans found one Abhishek Sharma who's showing that kind of intent. See, in T20 cricket, power play decides a lot of things, and the role of Abhishek Sharma is to take advantage of the power play. So that is what is his role, and he's trying to do, and he's trying to just fulfill his role. So I don't know what exactly he's doing wrong. And when it works, if it had worked today in 6 overs, if he had got going, then it could have been 60 for one, and there itself the game might have ended. See, it's not Abhishek Sharma's role to go out there and play defensively. If he gets out, then it is the role of maybe the number three batter or number four batter to come in and maybe take a few singles here or there, adjust to the conditions, and then try to play the big shots in the final over. So Abhishek Sharma is just trying to fulfill his role, and that is to go after the bowling in the power play overs, because power play overs decide a lot of T20 games.
Funnily enough, Bharat, today I got a message on not a message, I got a comment on Twitter when I was talking about the batting collapse that India has faced, and someone, and I kid you not, said that we need someone like a KL Rahul in the T20 I set up. So
Cricket fans, it's always like that. The player who's warming the bench is always better. It's always
of
150
course.
times better.
But Devashish also joins us from outside of the Wankhede Stadium. Devashish, tell us what the mood was like, first of all, in the stadium throughout the match. And then we can talk about the first innings because we're still talking about the kind of collapse that we saw from India today.
Yeah, absolutely, and it has been a truly electrifying atmosphere, as is always is the case whenever Indian team plays at this iconic venue. And it was chock a block, and yes, one point of time, 77 for six, there was a hush. Means obviously there was a lull in the stands, and people were wondering what was happening. Means obviously 77 for six, and only Surya Kumar Yadav there on the crease, and then as is always the case, Surya, the batter he is known for, and the captain leading from the front, it augurs well for the Indian team going forward to this tournament. And then you also have to talk about Mohammad Siraj. Yes, every time Siraj had the ball, there were chants in the from the stand, Siraj, Siraj. So this is what, and in fact, not only Siraj, be it Hardik, be it Varun, be it Arshdeep, there was chants all around. And this is what you want, means you want the crowd to be the 12th man and lift your morale. And that is what has been the case today at Wankhede Stadium. And eventually, in the end, it was India who not only recorded the successful defended the title. I think it is the lowest total that was defended, if I'm not wrong, and also they will take the confidence heading to the game against Pakistan, provided they decide to play against India.
There's a comment here. Ayan Banerjee is saying, I'm mighty impressed that you read Franz Kafka's The Trial. How do you know that? Did Did I post that somewhere? Because I don't remember. And if you know that, that's freaky. Because I don't remember. I don't remember saying in any of the shows that I was reading this book. But anyway, we've got a comment here that says, Fitmonk is saying many people will not rate this Surya's innings higher as it came against a weak opposition, but actually it has it was a heck of a knock under huge pressure in the World Cup. Ashok, we keep talking about pressure when it comes to these fixtures, no matter who the opposition is. World Cup is a different beast. It is unlike bilateral cricket. And what Surya Kumar Yadav was able to do today was actually commendable.
Oh yes, I think he's come back into form in a big way in the series against New Zealand, capitalizing on that. I think what his testimony to me was that 16th over, I think against Saurabh Netravalkar, where he scored I think 21 runs in that particular over. And if you see, the final margin of victory was 29 runs. So in a sense, he turned it around. With that innings that he played, he had all his old shots coming back into the portfolio, and that really made the difference. So I think in terms of not just steadying the innings, but also pulling it away, especially in the last 4 overs, full marks to Sky.
Absolutely. Bharat, what do you think of the captain navigating the batting the way that he did today?
Yeah, first of all, you leave aside the factor about pressure. Just think about the point that it was not an easy pitch at all. There was grip on offer. There was a little bit of tennis ball bounce. I saw a little bit of nip as well off the wicket up front. So in those conditions, If Surya Kumar Yadav had not played well, India could have been bowled out for even 120 and might have lost that game. So a lot of credit has to go to Surya Kumar Yadav just for the fact that it didn't gift his wicket away up front. Uh, when he came out to bat, when India were in some kind of trouble, he could have tried to play too many shots and got out, but he didn't. Yes, he got a reprieve or two, but still he was able to get through those sorry, get through those gears where first of all it just try to wade through those tricky situation, and then after that he just pressed the accelerator pedal, and that is when he got all, all those runs in a slog overs against his good friend Netravalkar. So yes, a lot of credit to Surya Kumar Yadav, and it's great to see him returning to form. He's someone when he's at his best, you feel that as I noted before, you feel that it's the Rajnikant of T20 cricket, the way he explores every all corners of the ground. So yes, it's a great news for Indian cricket, and I think it was a tremendous knock. Whatever the side, whoever he was playing against, and they have to give credit to US. Actually, they bowled pretty well, they planned pretty well, and they executed their plans quite well. Other than the fact that they dropped a couple of catches, so considering all that, I think it was a very very good knock.
By the way, all these pictures flashing on your screen have been taken by none other than Debashish Sen. Debashish, you were talking about Mohammad Siraj, and if we now move on to the second innings, obviously it was Mohammad Siraj who was making a comeback into the T20I setup. We've seen him slowly make a comeback in 2024 in ODI cricket, but he was still largely not a part of the T20I setup. For him to come back right into the World Cup, that changes things when it comes to sort of getting acclimatized, and him not having much game time at all in T20I cricket. But the way that he performed tonight is a very very positive sign for India.
Yeah, absolutely, and he immediately came into effect, giving those early strikes. And remember that in the previous games, the T20 internationals I'm talking about, he was miserly, but he did not return with too many wickets. In one of the matches, he got a couple, and in another match, he got three wickets. In another series, he got three. So I think in that case, getting three wickets in the first match, that augurs well for the Indian team. But now that when Jasprit Bumrah will return, assuming that he will return, and then it will be a real headache for the captain whether to go in with a Siraj or Arshdeep Singh. So, and that's a healthy headache to have for the captain. And remember, Hardik Pandya will always be in that side. So, and it will now be between Siraj and Arshdeep. And with Siraj coming good with his wicket taking ability, I think it is it definitely is a good sign for the Indian team in the tournament ahead.
Absolutely. Vaibhav Taragi here is saying pretty impressive bowling from Siraj. Grabbed the chance from destiny from both hands. Now, Ashok, even when Jasprit Bumrah comes up, it opens up the avenue of the management sticking with Mohammad Siraj in the bowling combination. What are your thoughts about his performance tonight?
Oh yeah, I think that's been one unique feature about the new Indian team, if I could call it that way. That when you get a chance, you go in and grab it with both hands. That's beautifully said. If I were to digress for a minute, if you look at what Ishan Kishan has done, after the 2 year break, he came in because Shubman Gill was out of form, and he said, "Let me come in," and then he came in, and then Sanju Samson went out of form, so he's grabbed the wicket keeper plus the opening bat spot. And look at the way he's grabbed it. Even today, he was actually looking really good, and I think it's a matter of time before he comes good. So I would say it's a good problem to have. It's a happy situation to have where Siraj has come in. He's taken those wickets today, the 3 wickets that he took. He looks in prime form, and it's going to be an interesting one. But I think it's a choice of plenty, and depending on conditions, depending on the opposition, India will then have to pick and choose the right one. I would say, given our current trend, if you look at the maximum number of wickets that have been taken in power play, is when Bumrah and Arshdeep together have operated, and that should be the combination that India should go with Siraj as an option, depending on the conditions.
And of course, Devashish, the most important wicket came from Varun Chakravarti, breaking that partnership between Munang Patel and Milind Kumar that had gotten going. Varun Chakravarti in this setup has been largely effective tonight as well. He showed us why he's an important part of an important cog of the wheel when it comes to the T20 setup.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. In this format, Varun Chakravarti is your go-to bowler. And he is a certainty in that side. And it was good to see Axar Patel also putting few wickets. Obviously, in one particular over, he got a couple of wickets. So I think when it comes to spin department, I think Varun and Akshar will definitely play, but it will be interesting whether Kuldeep Yadav will say during in the matches coming up in the group stages against Namibia or Netherlands, whether he gets an opportunity or not, because there will be a time, means you don't, the last thing you want is to have someone who did not play a game. It happened in that T20 World Cup in 2024 when you had a Yashasvi Jaiswal warming the benches throughout the tournament. So that is the last thing that you need. So ideally for me, if you are guaranteed of a place in the Super 8, then you should try out Kuldeep Yadav. Maybe we can give him a couple, at least one match, so that he gets enough match practice. I'm not saying that he hasn't got match practice in the recent series, but also to get into the group in World Cup. So I think overall the bowling, yes, there is a few bit of concerns. Is obviously yes. Today also the US batters towards the end they were hitting going after the bowlers. So I think, but in this situation, see, the match was almost won in the power play. Means when India had those three quick wickets. So I think overall the Indian team will be satisfied, given that most of the batters did not fire, and it is their captain who bailed them out of the trouble. And these are the testing situations that test the character of a team. When the team is not in a good position, then who picks up his and that is what exactly Surya Kumar Yadav in the pre-match press conference said. He said that in this format you require couple of bad players to to perform, and that is what happened today exactly. It was Siraj with the bat. It was um, um, Sky with the bat and Siraj with the ball. I think these are the two positives that India take into the next match. Gargi.
Ashok, sorry, Bharat, at this point, a lot of people are concerned about the team because of the batting collapse that ensued tonight. But do you think there's really a concern to look? There's really a concern when it comes to this team, or do you think that it was just another hiccup before you get into the important part of the tournament?
I think I will sound like a broken tape recorder, but I will say the same stuff that you can't have a perfect day every single time. Even the greatest players in various sports do have a bad day here or there. And it's not like India had a bad day. It's not like they were bowled out for 110 or 120 in those conditions. On a bad day, India could have been bowled out for 120 as well. That they still managed to get to 161 or whatever shows that in this team they have that, what can you say, in this team someone or the other will perform, and that is what happened today with Surya Kumar Yadav coming good, and the bowlers also performed well. So yeah, in those conditions, if you tell 161 means a bad day, then I don't know what else to say, because it's still a very competitive score. Yes, India had a collapse, but as I noted, you can't have a perfect day every single time. I feel that many times Indian cricket fans want it to be too perfect, but that is not how sport works. Even the greatest of players, in any sport, be it tennis, be it in hockey, be it in football, or whatever, you would have a day where you won't where everything won't go your way. So that is what exactly happened today. But India still carved out a path, chiseled out a path to come out on top, and that tells you that it's a very good side, because on a bad day, other sides might have gone on to lose, but India didn't lose.
So I just want to make a point on
Yeah.
this one, Gargi. I know you're putting up a comment, but I think See, the issue is not whether India managed to post a 250 or a 300 run score in the first innings. The issue to really look at is that after scoring that 162 runs, did India manage to deploy its resources in a way to contain the opposition and win the match? And that is the real takeout. So if you look at it, if I were to just break it up in terms of components, Surya Kumar Yadav coming in and playing that captain's knock and getting that 80 odd runs was the first bright spot. Second, Siraj grabbed the opportunity with both hands and got the 3 wickets in. Captain Surya Kumar Yadav managed to get the team rallying around, with a modest total like 162. If you saw the body language that he, displayed on the ground and the rest of the team, he marshaled the resources extremely well. He believed in both Axar and Varun, even during the key crucial overs to get in the wickets, and that's how they managed to deliver. And so the fact is that at the end of the day, with a modest total, did India manage to ensure that they attacked relentlessly? They held on to their catches, which I thought was the other bright spot, and therefore managed to bring in a victory. And so that's the perspective to take, that such occasions will occur. Every time it will not be a 250 innings. But then when something like this happens, how do you react? And what's your game plan? What's your strategy? And how well then do you execute? And I think that's a big thumbs up from that perspective.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Which reminds me of, let's talk about the tufani moments from the games tonight. Devashish, what was your highlight? What was your tufani moment of the night?
It has to be that 21 runs that Surya Kumar took. Means obviously that paved the way for India posting 160 plus. And had it been anywhere around 130 to 140, it would have been interesting because this US side, yes, they batted beautifully. Means obviously I wouldn't say that, but anyway, it was always challenging for them. But I think that 21 runs that Surya Kumar took of Saurabh Netravalka's over, I think that was the Tufani moment for me.
What about you, Bharat?
Yeah, it has to be Surya Kumar Yadav. If you ask for a highlight from the match, then there is nothing else to look at. Yes, Siraj bowled reasonably well, although I have to say that the USA batters didn't help their cause with the kind of shots they played up front. But it has to be Surya Kumar Yadav, the way he went up a gear right in the slog overs, the way he was able to wade through the tricky situation and then press the accelerator pedal right in the slog overs. Told something about the wisdom of experience that Surya Kumar Yadav brings to the table, and that is what is showcased in the middle. That it's kind of experience that he has is invaluable, and he waited for the right time, and then obviously scored a volley of boundaries.
Ashok, your tufani moment of the match?
Oh, I'm going to make it a hat trick and say that Captain Surya Kumar Yadav, full marks to him for that innings. But more importantly, I think, when India realized that they had to defend 162, he must have gone to the team and said, "Aaj kuch tufani karke dikhate hain."
Absolutely. Fitmonk here is saying, my tufani moment was USA captain choosing to bowl first. I mean, when you win the
Good one that is, because
yeah.
see, some other associate nation might have thought that yes, this India is a powerful batting lineup. If the pitch turns out to be flat, and it's better that we bat first, because you don't want to be in a situation where the Indian team will score some 300 and you're completely demoralized. So I think that is a good one, that this reader has said that it's the tufani moment, in the sense that they were very, very
Yeah.
brave ball first.
Absolutely. Okay, final couple of questions on the show. Aradhya Goyal is saying, now what do you guys think about USA versus Pakistan? Do you think USA will beat them? Devashish.
Yeah, obviously they had some alarming moments today. Pakistan, and, had that catch been taken of Fahim Ashraf, then Pakistan wouldn't be sitting pretty with points in the table. So, but yes, it will be a battle. Means obviously whoever in that match wins will just take a step forward in qualifying. But yes, at this stage I would still go with Pakistan being the favourites to qualify from this group along with India.
And final question over to you, Ashok. This was a spicy wicket at Wankhede. Everyone just expects that it's going to be a belter, it's going to be a flat wicket, but clearly it had some demons to it as well. These are the kind of pitches you want to see for the T20 World Cup. You want to see a contest between the bat and the ball.
I think we're going to see more of this in Colombo for sure. In fact, if you ask me, a par score would be about 160 in Colombo, and therefore, it's in a way good net practice, if one could call it that way. I think what's also happening is that the teams, the associate nations, if you see all the three matches today, whether it is Netherlands, whether it is Scotland, whether it is the US, I think they were not overawed by the big tournament situation. They came in saying that we have studied the players, we have studied the opposition, we've got enough cricket under our belt, either playing franchise cricket or otherwise, and therefore, the gap really reduces. And in that sense, it's not going to be a walkover kind of a situation, which is where with these kind of pitches, which are a bit slow, which is expected of the subcontinent, I think we can expect more of such closely contested matches going forward in this tournament.
Can I just add one point, small point on USA versus Pakistan? I will be interested to see their bowling plans against Pakistan. I think their plans against India were very slick. If you notice how Netherlands bowled, they bowled a lot of short of a length. They bowled that hard length and a lot of slow short deliveries. And that is how I think you have to go against Pakistan, because these Pakistani batters, I'm not very sure they're very good at landing those horizontal bat shots. So it will be interesting to see how USA will go about against Pakistan. If I'm the analyst, I would just say out of 120 deliveries, if your pace bowlers are bowling how many, a lot of the 60 or whatever deliveries, and then most of it should be short of a length or slower short deliveries, because I don't think Pakistani batters are good at playing those horizontal bat strokes.
And that was on display in the match today, this morning. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We'll take your leave. India travels to Delhi next, where they will meet. Who will they meet? Where they will meet Namibia on the 12th of February. Of course, I will be covering that game on ground, so don't forget to join us then. Till then, stay tuned to Ref Sports. We'll be building up
Remember,
to this
Namibia
game.
defeated South Africa last year, so in one game. So who knows? Understand that India usually play well against associates, but Namibia did defeat South Africa last year in a T20.
Will it be a day of upset? We'll see. We'll see. This Indian team is something else. A loss is that it doesn't come that easily. But thank you so much, Bharat, Devashish, and Ashok for joining. We'll be back very soon. Thank you so